Hey everyone again, welcome to The Loadout, presented by The Daily Dot. I am Jared Wynn, hosting for you once again. An exciting night of league discussion for us, followed by some fighting game talk. But right now, we have the one, the only NukeDuck of Team Rocat joining us live from across the pond. NukeDuck, thanks for being here. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Thanks for having me.
Hey, we're happy to have you. How's the offseason going so far? Are you getting some practice in? You just taking a break from the game? What are you doing in terms of league?
I'm playing a bit of League and trying to achieve Legend in Hearthstone, but it's not going that well.
Get some Hearthstone practice in. How is it? What rank are you right now? You getting up there a little bit?
5, but I've been stuck for like the last couple of days, so
That's not
it's
that
pretty sad
bad.
news.
Yeah, well, five's okay. Maybe like buy another $100 or so worth of cards, and we get up there, right? Yeah, no problem.
No, I have every card. That's the problem.
Oh, okay. Well, if you got all the cards already, hey, I still believe in you. You know what? This is a slump. You're gonna get past this. This interview, in fact, is gonna be the inspiration you need to achieve legendary. I'm sure this season. Get that card back. I see it happening.
Okay.
Let's
Watch daily dot become legendary.
exactly,
All right.
exactly. Let's talk about Rocat now. The team trying to qualify for Worlds. You started out pretty well in the qualifying tournament. You swept Giants, beat them pretty handily. Were you feeling good coming into that match? Did you expect to win by a good margin? And
Ver-
if so, how did the
versus
win come
Giants.
about? Yeah, versus Giants.
Versus Giants, we had no doubts that we were gonna win.
Yeah.
We knew that we would win.
What made you so confident?
Uh, just right, after we lost to UL, like we did a lot of stuff wrong. Like we played really bad. So we went home and we just practiced for like the whole month leading up to the next qualifier, and we became a lot better during that time. And even when we lost versus UL, we were probably still better than Giants. So yeah,
Would you say you became better like as a team? Were you all just playing individually better?
yeah.
Like what
No,
was it?
I think we became just better as a team actually.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Now then you lost to Origin. It was a close series, 3 games to 2. You almost took it. What happened at the end? What did you not do that you needed to do to finish the series and win it out?
In the end,
Yeah, what went wrong?
uh, what went wrong? So like first game, we got a pretty big lead actually, but we didn't know how to like properly play out the map in order to actually make the game take a step forward, like taking down tier twos. We,
Right.
we weren't able to that, nor were we able to take Nash with a 5k goal lead when they had like super greedy champs. They had zero wave clear and I think no wait they had GP. Well yeah they had GP, so they had some wave clear. But like they had like Vlad and Wayne and stuff, and we
Right.
had such a huge lead with Sivir, I even think. So it was like, yeah, we just failed to like, yeah, snowball properly. Because they actually gave us like a lot of openings that game, kind of. Like they fought Drake versus us when their comp was pretty weak, so we got big lead.
Right.
But yeah, we weren't able to play it out, and then we won second and third, and fourth. Yeah, fourth game was the game we like had like a fuck up in the lane swap, which like led to their dual lane being one level up, and by using that they rotated and took every tower, and then we were pretty behind, but then we were like maybe crawling our way back, looking for the comeback, but then I got caught mid, and then it was G. Uh, like that 5 drags, 3 inhibs or something after that, so it was unwinnable.
Right. Did you
And
feel?
then fifth game,
Yeah, go ahead.
we just yeah okay. Fifth game uh, we played like a new comp. I played first time Diana because thing was that in the whole series, like the main champions I had going in like was like Azir, Victor, Lulu, Fizz, Yasuo, yes, and there were like either of the teams had to ban Lulu or Fizz like on different sides just because they were like really OP on 5.14, and then they banned out Azir and Yasuo and took Victor. So I was playing Diana for like almost the first time, and then we again fucked up the lane swap kind of and fucked up some early fights. And we had like full all income, so we just lost in 20 minutes. We wanted to FF at 10 minutes, but we stick through, try to win, or at least make it seem like we're trying to win.
Right. Right. Well, you put on a good effort at least. Did you feel like you should have won the series? You feel like you should have beaten them?
No, I don't think so. We like there was different like series. Like game 1 we kind of threw, but then game 3 they kind of threw pretty hard. So it was like overall, like over the course of the 5 games, they better than us.
What do you think guys could have done differently? What should you have done differently in order to come out on top? Because again, you were only one game away from beating them.
Right. So basically, I told you all the like mistakes we had.
Right.
Uh, but that was basically it. Like both teams had like pretty decent pick bans. Both teams were playing almost all the OP picks. Like we were like not really playing Tristana that much, and they were not like playing Yasuo that much. But other than that, like we shared whole champion pools, and most of the drafts were fairly even. So it just came down to those like key moments in each game.
When I talked to Soaz actually on this very show, he said that the problem for Origin was that they just had bad drafts against you, and they adjusted to your drafting style in the latter 2 games. Did you feel like they made some adjustments in their draft, or was it kind of like, do you disagree with that? Did you see the adjustments being made by them?
Yeah, I guess so. They put higher, they prioritize like GP and Braum higher. Like both the last 2 games, they had like Braum. I guess yeah, but not like a lot, but a bit maybe. Like they didn't really like if I would play like stable mage on mid, then they would be really good, but they couldn't really deal with like split push, or they weren't used to it. So I guess it was that.
Okay.
But it wasn't that big difference. Just people realized like how OP was GP and Braum throughout the series.
Right. If you had won, did you think you had a good chance against Unicorns of Love in the final of the qualifier?
Yeah, we would have won against them easily too.
Okay. Now you did play Unicorns in the playoffs. Unfortunately, you didn't win that series. You lost 3-2.
No, we didn't win that.
What was different there? Because you think you would have won against them in the qualifier?
Yeah.
Like, why'd you lose in the playoffs? You think?
In the playoffs, we were just playing like so wrong. Like our pick ban was wrong, and our play was terribly wrong. So we just like had like we were so bad. But I think we fixed most of that like going into the next games. Like we weren't that good, but we were at least a lot better than we were in the playoffs.
It definitely looked cleaner than you were against Unicorns. Now, if you had beaten Unicorns, you of course would have played Fnatic in the next round. Did you think you had a chance against Fnatic? Would you have liked to gotten the chance to play them in the best of series?
I mean, I would have liked the chance to go and play versus them, but it would be pretty hard. We would lose probably.
Well, Fnatic came
because
close.
we weren't ready. We weren't ready to play against them at that point.
Okay. Yeah.
Like we would have lost. Like we didn't even beat UL. We would have gotten crushed by Fnatic. Okay. Probably.
They almost lost to Origin, so they were beatable, but you didn't think you guys had a shot at them at that
time?
No,
at that time we were not good enough for sure.
Okay. Yamato Cannon, of course, came in as a coach, and I actually spoke to him on this show as well some time ago.
You did?
He said the first thing that he had to do was like change the culture of the team and like just change the way you guys thought about the game and thought about playing and just your mentality. Like, did you feel that when he came in? Like, how did he change the culture and the mentality and the way you guys think about things when he came in?
Basically, he changed mostly everything, like how we practice, and he was the guy that was taking a lot of responsibility as well, like telling us what to do. And he was changing the culture. Like we were trying to learn a lot and not just like stomp people on scrim or something. And what he also did was that he took the strategical point of the game as his own responsibility and let all the players more focus on individual play, which helped especially me a lot, I think.
Did you feel a bit freer to like be yourself and play your own skills and put your own skills at the forefront when you didn't have to think about it as much?
Yeah, exactly. Like before the last split, I had to kind of help a lot out with strategy and stuff, and we didn't know it that well. And I didn't know it that well. I knew some of it. I was trying to implement, but it wasn't like that good or enough or something. So, and by doing that, I also kind of didn't get to focus that much on myself. Whereas with Yamato, it was way easier for me to play.
Can you give me an example of like the kind of cultural change that Yamato Cannon made? Like what the kind of things you did differently because of him when he came in?
Like for example, he's doing all the pick bans for us, even in scrim. So he's like and telling us how to play, kind of like before it would be more like we were just trying to win. But with Yamato, it's like he's helping us just learning. Like he's just making us a lot better at learning how to play.
Yeah, how do things like that impact you actually playing matches like on LCS day? Like how does it impact your performance there? Does it just make you play a bit freer, you think? Like what changes in the match?
It impacts us so much because we came to the point, like when we played versus Origin, like at that point, it was like everyone on the team knew what to expect from other people, and we had a good plan every time. We knew what to do, we knew what our teammates would do, and it makes it way easier for everyone to play a good game.
Right. So do you think that what was the big change from the beginning of the season when you almost got relegated to making the playoffs and like beating Giants in the qualifier? Was it Yamato Cannon changing the culture? Was it you guys just practicing more? Like what changed there from those 2 points?
Well, I think it was just Yamato coming in and our roster changes.
Right.
We ended up getting 2 more stable players. So, 2 more reliable players. Okay. So, we became actually okay consistent team at that point. Thing was that when you have the consistent players, you can actually start working to progress as a team. You can say okay, this is where we are now. This is where we need to be. This is what we need to do. But in the whole team, it was just a bit too random, maybe.
Let me ask you, what's more stressful, what more pressure packed, playing for the World Championship qualifier spot or playing for relegation?
I wasn't that nervous in relegation. The match I've been most nervous in for this whole year actually was the match against Origin, which basically decided whether we were going to playoffs, and if we lost, we were probably going to relegations.
All right, the playoff match, yeah.
But when we played relegation, we played versus a pretty bad team, so it was not that. Yeah, it was there was no fear of losing, basically.
You were confident that you were going to win that game, or that
yeah,
series,
we knew we were going to win.
Right. Well, while you didn't qualify for Worlds, it's still going to go on while you guys are practicing and taking a break, whichever you want to do. You played Fnatic, of course, this season. You were part of their, they won a lot of games, a split. They almost went undefeated the whole way. They did go undefeated the whole regular season. Didn't quite make it to the playoffs without losing any games, but they got close. Do you think Fnatic has a real chance to win at Worlds?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Like a real chance, as in, just a real chance. Like every Chinese team has SKT, and them. Yeah, I think they have a real chance. Yeah.
You think they have a good chance to win?
No, but a real chance, yes.
Okay, what do you think makes them able to play against the best Korean teams, like SKT, play against the best Chinese teams, like maybe Edward Gaming, LGD Gaming, something like that? What separates Fnatic from most other Western teams? What do they do differently?
They are smart, and at the same time, they have no weaklings. Whereas, pretty much every other team in Europe has people that aren't basically Fnatic has top tier players on every role. A good strategy, good coach. They have the tools they need to be able to play versus those teams.
Now you also played Origin H2K, of course, this split.
Yeah.
How do you feel about those two teams at Worlds? Soaz was not too confident about Origin's chances, but they played pretty well against Fnatic. Do you think Origin has a chance, first of all, to do anything?
To win Worlds?
No, not to win Worlds necessarily, but to make the playoffs,
okay.
Let's say, to do okay, to win some games.
In groups, I think Origin will go out of groups.
Okay.
But actually, they have a chance of making groups. But the thing is, they are seeded like wildcard team because of the third seed, so it makes it really hard. I would say that if they would have the second seed, then I could see them going through. But on third seed, it's going to be maybe too hard.
Yeah, they'll probably have a tough group. But what about H2K? They do have a second seed, so they could have a bit easier group than Origin.
But I think even with second seed, they're not going to make it out of groups, probably.
Okay. So you think Origin probably has a better chance at Worlds, but a tougher group?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it makes sense. And of course, Fnatic should win their group. It would be or should get through groups at least. It would be disappointing if they didn't get through groups. Yeah,
they won't necessarily win groups.
Yeah, but at least get through it. What do you think about the wild cards, by the way, at Worlds? We've seen this debate every year whether wild cards should have two teams sent to Worlds, whether they have a place there. We did see last year. I think it was a Brazilian team who beat Alliance, actually knocked them out of groups by taking a game off of them. Do you think it's good to have two wildcard teams? Should it just be one? Should there be any at all?
It should be 0, I think.
Okay.
those teams are like made jokes of when they're getting to Worlds. Like, just the fact that everyone remembers 1 year later that a wildcard team beat Alliance it just goes to show that these teams don't even belong there.
Right.
Like, those teams should either be like, there should be like a bigger qualification or something where like maybe the fourth and fifth team from NA, EU, China, Korea, and Taiwan or something plays in like a big group with maybe the top wildcard teams, and then the winner of this can go to Worlds or something like that.
Right. So
at least
having,
I think that is better than having all those wildcard teams just play against each other and trying to go to Worlds.
Yeah, so instead of having a debate over whether you should have like the fourth place American or European teams, you can actually have them just play the wild cards and decide their matches, which works better.
And the other fourth place.
Right,
all the
Korea,
other
China, or third place from Taiwan, perhaps. Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense to me. Tell Riot that. You should actually suggest that to them.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll listen to you.
I mean, it sounds like a lot of work though, and I'm pretty sure that that Riot is pretty happy with having like wildcard teams at the Worlds too, because it probably brings, I don't know, maybe some Brazilian viewers will watch Spain and stuff. Like it's not like super bad. I just think it maybe could be better for the competition at least.
Right, because right now I think most teams, I'm pretty confident most teams hope they get a wildcard team in their group.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Everyone is crossing their fingers for having wildcard teams.
Yeah.
Because it's basically a free win. Wildcard teams will probably not win a single game in either of their groups.
We're talking about the state of Worlds. What about the state of League of Legends, the state of the game overall? What do you think about the current meta? We've been in a kind of a tanky meta for a while now that's been emphasized. Do you like the way the game is right now? Do you think it should be changed? How?
I don't think that we were in that much of a tank meta, at least on 5.14. Like, on 5.14, I really liked the meta, a lot of viable champions.
Right.
And now, I think it's even better now with like Victor getting slightly nerfed. Because before you didn't need like, you only could play with one hand and you could basically, do decent with Victor. But now he's a bit nerfed, so he's still good, but like a bit more punishable at least.
Well, you mentioned Victor in the mid lane, I guess, more specifically. What do you think about the mid lane meta? What do you think about the mid lane champions and matchups there? Are you happy with it right now? Do you think it needs changes?
I'm fairly happy with it. I'm fairly happy with it. People are, like, LeBlanc is good again now with her speed and W. She's pretty strong and she'll probably be a good pick. I think that Kassadin will be as well, like a big pick, at least from the Chinese teams, with the buffs. And then I think Yasuo will be really contested too. And Lulu is good. Victor and Az. Like, it's a pretty good mid-meta, I think.
Yeah, you mentioned a number of champions there. You played, I think, 9 champions in the split. Do you purposefully emphasize having a big variety, like a big champions pool, or is that just something you do naturally? Like, how does that come about that you play so many champions?
It's actually Yamato that kind of pushes me to do that.
Okay.
Because it's really, like, you can contribute so much to your team by just having a lot of champions you can play, because it makes it way better to draft. Like, you can, like, it gives you way more options when you draft, so it's better. And like last season, like the spring split, like I was getting like triple bans on mid, and then enemy first pick like my 4th champion, and I was sitting there, and I was like, what the fuck, guys, what do I play? Like, I had no fucking idea what to pick, pick some Katarina and something. And we're trying to have more consistency, and a large champion pool is easier for consistency.
You played quite a bit of Azir, I think, this split. What do you think about the changes made to him?
Well, they basically just nerfed his movement speed, and the Q change was like pretty much irrelevant.
Okay, so you don't think it's a big change at all?
No, he will be still pretty strong.
Okay. Is there a mid lane champion like to see brought back into the meta? Like a mid lane champion who you think needs to be brought up or given some buffs? Or is there one you think really needs to be nerfed right now? Like really needs to be taken down a notch?
Taken down a notch? I guess. No, I don't think any mid lane champion needs to take taken down a notch. Like, as of now, at least.
Okay. After the Victor nerf, perhaps.
Yeah, after the Victor nerf and the slight Azir nerf.
Okay.
Like, maybe those champion even needs more nerfs, but like you can play around them as a team. So actually, never mind that. Like, no one really needs nerfs.
Okay. Yeah, nothing. Who do you think is going to be popular? I think you mentioned this a second ago, but who do you think is going to be the most popular mid lane picks at Worlds?
Lulu, LeBlanc, Kassadin, Yasuo, Azir. Yeah,
Also, a lot
those
of
five.
them. A pretty broad, popular
Yeah,
pick.
the thing is like there is no champion that is like really sticking out right now in mid
Right.
lane. So, or perhaps Azir will just be the most priority one, but I'm not sure like how high the team will value him after the nerfs.
Do you think we'll see any surprises in the mid lane? Like any team's going to have a pocket strategy they're going to break out with a different champion there?
Oh, yeah, sure. Because there's no super strong mid lane champions. You can play like 30 different champions in mid lane now and be rather successful in competitive play. So you can play whatever. Like if someone is really good at something and it fits like the big band, then it should be brought out. It's you can play whatever as long as you're good at it.
Anything? I mean, we're going to see like some
Or
Cho'Gath.
not anything.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Cho'Gath works.
Cho'Gath mid, maybe some Yorick
Cho'Gath,
mid.
Yorick, I'm not too sure, but at least Cho'Gath is one of the picks that works. Yeah.
Yeah, Cho'Gath can work. I think it can be fun. Everyone likes a good flash bite. Let's talk about your future now and Rocat's future. Are you planning to stay with the team? Simple as that.
Uh, I'm still under contract for Roccat for like 1 month, but I want to play next season in Roccat. So as of now, we are in talks
Okay.
about a contract for next season.
So hopefully, if things go the right way, you'd like to be with Rocat again.
Yeah, if things go as expected, I will probably be playing for Roccat another year.
Right. Do you think the team as a whole is going to stick together off the most part, or are you going to have some big changes, do you think, in the roster?
Changing the roster? I don't know.
Maybe you're more
so.
focused in your own situation, perhaps, and let everyone else play out their own?
No, it's not like that.
Okay.
But it's more like it's not completely up to me. It's more like up to the management and our coach. Like
Right.
I trust Yamato Cannon in whatever he will do for the lineup, basically.
If you did stay with this team and you kind of stuck together with Yamato Cannon coaching you, do you feel like you could be a playoff team next split? You could make some noise.
Yeah, sure. Like I think if we would have started like with this roster and coach from the spring split, I think we could have been a pretty good team come summer.
Yeah, you definitely showed good improvement from the spring to summer.
We kind of just we didn't have enough time together to sort everything out, kind
Right.
of. So like with a bit more time, I think we can be pretty good.
Even from playoffs to the World Qualifier, you showed improvement, actually.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'd like to see what you guys look like next split. I'd be excited to see that. 2 more questions, and we'll get you out of here. One question on your past, like how would you describe your experience playing with NIP? Because that was a kind of a weird situation. The whole thing was. My time was over.
Playing with NIP was actually super fun.
Okay.
Was playing with like old friends at the time, like Mithy and Sorrow and Freeze. Amin a bit was playing. Like it was just a lot of fun playing in NIP. We kind of fell short. Like we never really got a jungler that was working for us, because like Hurkbot got like some eye problems, so he couldn't play anymore. And
Right.
then we wanted to take Amin, but he was too young, even though he would have been a pretty good fit for us. And we had to take a jungler in the middle of the season when there was like no one available to take. So we ended up with like a solo queue jungler, Alberto, and it just we never really got it to work. So we ended up just failing like promotion twice.
If you had found the right jungler, do you think you'd still be with him today? Still be playing with him, perhaps?
Probably yes.
Yeah, well,
I would say yes.
I guess we'll never know. But Rocat looks pretty good these days. Looks like you could have some good potential days in the future. Last question we'll have for you. The question, really. What do you think about the Sandbox controversy?
Oh, I would really like to have it, and I see no reason to not have it. This CLG guy posted a video about it yesterday or 2 days ago, and he makes some really good points, like doing drills and stuff. It would be great. I would love to have it, and but the thing is that Riot as a company obviously aims at trying to get new players, and because the majority of the community is like, I mean, pretty low ranked or just like playing with friends and stuff.
Right.
And for those people, the Sandbox is like rather useless. It might not have any effect. Or it might be. Actually, I don't know, but it's not that high priority for them, I think.
Yeah,
But I would love to have it.
it seems that way. Not having a sandbox seems like a bit like I've made this analogy before. It's like telling pro soccer players that they cannot take the pitch unless they're playing a scrimmage. Like you can't just go on the pitch and shoot the ball around. You have to actually have a set match to actually play soccer at all or play football. So
It's actually pretty stupid, yeah.
yeah, it's a little bit silly. Well, I agree with you on that one, and I, for one, hope to see Rocat in the spring split next year. So you guys continue to improve, maybe make another run at playoffs, and perhaps even next time this year, you'll be going to Worlds. Could happen. Maybe. I think so. And NukeDuck would be a big part of that if it does happen. I want to thank NukeDuck and thank you for joining us today. Thanks a lot, actually. We enjoyed having you on, and we'll have to have you on again sometime soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Any last words or shout-outs you want to give?
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, you're good. You seem pretty chill, man. Yeah, no shout-outs necessary. Shout-outs to Rocat and to NukeDuck. So that's it for this interview. If you like it, follow the channel down there, twitch.tv/dailydot. Of course, if you missed part of it, the VOD will be on YouTube at daily.esports. Stick around, and in about, 10 minutes, we're going to have Efren Salinas and the Fighting Game crew here for Best of 3, our weekly fighting game show. So stay tuned for that. We'll be back in about 5-10 minutes. Stick around.